Biz bugün nəyi öyrəndik? Biz doğrudan da rəqəmsal transformasiya haqqında eşitdik. Hər gün dəyişən liderlik barədə eşitdik. Bu zamanda liderliyin belə tez dəyişən zamanda coaching mədəniyyətinin yaradılması üçün biz nə etməliyik?
Nigar, bu barədə bizə Birləşmiş Krallıqdan olan qonağımız Veronica Lysaght məruzə edəcək. Veronica xanım regional dəstək qrupu üzvləri ilə əməkdaşlıq edərək Beynəlxalq Coach Federasiyasının ICF-in yerli səviyyədəki strateji planını idarə edir və üzvlük təcrübəsi regional inkişaf komandasının üzvlərini koordinasiya etməklə yanaşı o, Avropada, Yaxın Şərqdə, Afrikada sabit nümayəndəliklər və regional inkişaf üçün katalizator rolunu oynayır. Veronica xanımın 17 illik coaching təcrübəsi var, səhnəyə Veronica Lysagh'ı dəvət edilir.
Salam, Baku, and my huge thanks to Fidan and Elchin for the invitation to be here. It is a real honor and a privilege to be in Azerbaijan and representing ICF. So the International Coach Federation, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about us. We are the largest professional body for coaches in the world. And we're very proud of that word professional, because to be a member of ICF, you have to have done 60 hours of coach-specific training. And that means that we are raising the standards of coaching worldwide, globally. We have 35,000 members worldwide and about 26,000, 27,000 who have one of our credentials. This is one of the things that the speaker from BP referred to as well, about making sure that we're operating at a standard in the world. So I'm going to speak to you today about change management. In ICF, we do a study every year for the last 5 years, which has been about how you have building a coaching culture within organizations. So originally, that was the first study. We've developed the themes as the years have gone by. And one of those themes prior to this one in 2017 was about millennials. And this one is about a coaching culture when you are going through a change management. And I've just wondered if you have experienced these changes within your organization. Just give me a hand up if you've experienced a business process implementation change. Okay. Quite a few of you. What about a specific department or team technology change? Right, okay, more of us. HR process implementation. Yep, most of the room on that one. Organization-wide technology change. Okay. Change of leadership. Yes. Okay, fairly constant that one. New product development innovation. Yep, okay. Environmental regulatory changes, right? Yeah. So workforce reduction, downsizing. Yeah, not so many. Or industry change, yes? Okay, you get the picture. Mergers and acquisitions as well. So you're not alone. Let me just say that. You are not alone. 77% of the people who we surveyed said that their organization was in a constant state of change. Now, the survey was conducted with 432 leaders of HR, learning and development, talent management from around the globe. And they represented a number of Fortune 50 and Fortune 100 organizations. And I use the word organizations because it wasn't just businesses, it's organizations in that broader sense. So what makes a change management initiative successful? Communication, yes, not surprising, leadership, and planning. So that doesn't seem particularly surprising that a change in a successful change management needs all those elements. And other things it needs is innovation, focus, to be well organized, to be consistent in the way that it's delivered, and in its engaging stakeholders. So the next question we asked is, why is change not successful? And I found this one quite surprising, is that the answer was communication, or a lack of it, leadership, or a lack of it, and planning, or a lack of it. So the same three elements are in both the for change being successful and for it not being successful. And what's the outcome of that? Resistance. That the things were unclear, that there was fear, that there was confusion. As Dorothy referred to, we have emotional intelligence, and that drives us. And if people feel unsafe during that period of change, then they are going to resist it. They're going to stop. They're going to be like that dog that does not want to go. And again, if you're thinking, oh gosh, I've been part of some change management initiatives that haven't worked so well, again, you are not alone. 85% of the organizations that we surveyed said that there had been an unsuccessful change management initiative, that it didn't reach the goals that they wanted it to reach. So, you know, I think we've got space here to learn. And this is part of why we do this research. How can we learn? What is coaching's role in that learning? One of the things that we do know is that the people who are engaged in the change, those who design it, implement it, who are really on board with it, are the ones who feel as though change is integral to them. It needs to happen, it comes from them. They are with the change. For those who feel that change happens to them, that is when the resistance happens, as though they haven't been included in it, that they have been excluded from this process. So I want to ask you a question. Most of you in the room said that you have had some change management initiative. How did you get that change to happen in your organization? Just give me some ideas. Anybody? Yes.
So we've gone through a technological innovation stage.
Yes.
We have invited a consulting company, and we have included representatives from each department to bring it to fruition altogether.
Okay, so for those who didn't hear that, they have gone through bringing a consultant in and then consulted internally with all the leaders within the organization to make it happen. Okay, fabulous. Others? Yes?
For example, in our company, we put this in our quality management programs.
Yes.
We put in our planning system, and during the year, we also, it's outsourced. We invite some leaders, trainers, and they are trying to help us with that.
Yeah.
All these changes.
Okay, so again, you're engaging your people in it. Yes, lovely. Thank you. Any other thoughts about how you roll out change? So one of the we asked our respondents the same thing, and they said that often they use classroom training to deliver that change through an organization. So I just want to have a wee note here. I've got 75% of high-performing organizations and 56% of all other organizations. Now, in high-performing organizations, they are organizations where there is a coaching culture. So statistically, it's the other way around. So organizations that have a coaching culture are twice as likely to be a high-performing organization. Twice as likely to be a high-performing organization. So kind of just hold that in the back of your mind. And 56% of all other organizations use classroom training. The next highest was meeting with senior leaders. So again, 3/4 essentially of high-performing organizations had that meeting with senior leaders, which is both what you were talking about, that there are senior leaders involved in this, and they are available for all of the people in the organization to be in touch with. Less so for other organizations. And e-learning, again, nearly 70% of organizations used e-learning, so online training. I particularly understand this one. You know, I'm originally a New Zealander and very proud of Jacinda Ardern. She's great. And I live in London now, in my role across Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So I know that sometimes it's difficult to get all the information out to people. So e-learning is one of the ways of doing that. But we then ask people, this is the detailed statistics. Can you at the back see these numbers? So essentially the grey is 75% of high-performing organizations here is here, and 56% of all other organizations use classroom training as a way of getting across their how the change is going to happen within an organization. And I want you to take a particular note of where coaching is. One-to-one coaching is at 40%, and right down the bottom here, team coaching and work group coaching. So that we then asked, so this is what people do, okay, when they're rolling out a change management initiative. We then asked, what works? What was helpful? Look, work group coaching at the top, followed by one-to-one professional coaching with a professional coach, somebody who has done their training and has those high standards that I was talking about earlier. And if you drop right down to the bottom, classroom training and web-based training or e-learning. So there's a disconnect, an incongruence between what is delivered and what is helpful. Or in other words, work group coaching works, one-to-one coaching, and meeting with senior leaders. And if you look at the change management success by activity, and read these as columns going down. I know now that I'm talking numbers and statistics, but just bear with me for a second. So if you read the columns going down, you'll see that overall coaching and the different methodologies of delivering coaching work the best. And then the peer learning and the on-the-job learning are pretty much second equal. And the formal learning, less so, in terms of how to deliver on making a change happening in an organization. Oops, lost my. So most helpful coaching. Next is, sorry, I need to be standing on this side to get my clicker to work, on the job learning and peer learning. So this is a statistic I talked about earlier, that organizations with a strong coaching culture fundamentally do better. And what do we mean when we talk about a strong coaching culture? We talk about, in the ICF, we ask organizations to be qualified as having a strong coaching culture. They must deliver on 5 out of 6 elements. So the first one is that the employees value coaching, that the management, the leadership values coaching, that there is managers and leaders and internal coaches receive accredited coach-specific training, that there is a mix between external coaches, internal coaches, and managers and leaders using coaching skills. Also, that there is money for coaching, that there is a line item in the budget for coaching, and that everybody has access to coaching. So that means that to have access, it may be the part-time cleaner who comes in and does a shift between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. But they have as much access to coaching as the CEO. That everybody within the organization is able to access coaching. And we have an award system within the ICF, which is called our International Prism Awards. And it recognizes internationally those organizations that have a strong coaching culture. And they're organizations that are not just businesses, though they very well may be and are often, but they may be government organizations or schools or not-for-profits. The winner of last year's International Prism Award was the Health Service in Ireland. So there's an example. And in terms of the key points of the research, the takeaways, if you would like, is that there are a number of features found to impact on change management within organizations, and they are communication, leadership, and planning. And high-performing organizations are much more likely to have their change management initiative be successful than those who are not a high-performing organization, and that high-performing organizations are twice as likely to have a coaching culture. And one-on-one and work group coaching, and also meeting with having your leaders be available for personal meetings is what makes the difference when you're implementing a change management initiative. If you want any more details on that, there's the website link on where to go to. And I'm doing a blatant ad here. For the International Coach Federation, we have an international conference once every 2 years, and it's coming up later this year in October in Prague. If anybody's interested, that would be great. And I just want to finish, actually, with a quote from my homeland, with a quote from New Zealand, which was Nema Atiatio, which means, what is the most important thing in the world? And the answer is, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. It is the people, it is the people, it is the people. Thank you very much.